Hi Sparkly Beings, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing an actionable list of how you can hopefully heal yourself. I had a request a while back on one of my videos to kind of give some more guidance in response to the video that I had where I was talking about my injuries and things like that. So I wrote down a list and I'm going to look at it while I'm doing this video to stay in alignment with my focus and make sure that I tell you everything that I feel is important for your healing journey, wherever you're at, whatever it is, whatever kind of ailment it is. I'm personally speaking for a more intense healing journey of having several broken bones and lung damage and all the things. I feel like it's still actionable towards any other kind of ailment that you might have. Ideally, there's some takeaways for you no matter where you're at in your journey. So the first thing that I'm going to say to you, wherever you're at in your journey, is have an intention. What does your healed self look like? Like, dream big on this. Really think about what you want. Lay all of the other factors aside, all of the things that tell you that you can't. Release all of those and think about who you want to be as your healed self. What does that look like to you? Because once you can envision that, it'll help you be more intuitive with your program, what you want to incorporate and how you want to move forward with that. That's what I did. I knew who I was before I was ran over and broken to bits, so I knew who I wanted to be after that. And ideally, I wanted to be even stronger than I was because I didn't want to ever be that broken again. So I figured the stronger I could get and more capable I could get, the less likely I would be distracted, whatever that is. So that's the first thing, is think about what healing means for you, okay? The second thing is your foundation. So your foundation about where you're starting on your journey is really important. So that's how healthy and active were you before you were injured, because that will definitely play a part in how easy it is for you to get back to where you were. I, for instance, was already very athletic. I was doing acro yoga. I was doing yoga every day. I was lifting weights. I walked everywhere and cycled everywhere. So I was a very fit person. So one, I already knew that I was capable of all of those things. So it helped me envision who I wanted to be after the healing process. But also, two, it gave me a better foundation to actually pick myself back up again. Because if I didn't have all of the mind-muscle connection that I had before I was ran over, or if I didn't have all of the muscle that I had initially, it would have been a lot longer of a path to get to where I'm at right now. So keep that in mind. So if you weren't specifically that fantastically healthy in your peak health before you're injured and or compromised in whatever way, then you have a lot more foundation to set up for yourself to progress ahead. You are going to have to build a toolbox of go-to things, which I'm going to help you with now on this actionable list. So food. So the less processed and whole foods that you can eat, the much better for your healing journey. Your body needs nutrients and minerals and vitamins and protein and all the things. And the more real food you have, the more nutrients it provides for your body, the easier it is for your body to actually know what to do with it and digest it and utilize it, because your body does want to heal. If you give it the tools, it will heal itself. So know that. If you just eat like a bunch of McDonald's or something and Doritos and expect your body to heal, you're not giving it any real building blocks. It's like giving it styrofoam. Do you want bricks or do you want styrofoam? That's something to really consider here, okay? Sleep, very, very important. Just make sure that you're getting anywhere from 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That's the commonly recommended amount of time. And they say at least have 9 hours of bedtime. For instance, if you're going to go to bed and you're lying in bed and you're dimming your lights and everything to get yourself mentally prepared to get to sleep, even if you're in bed for like 30 minutes to an hour and then you wake up and it's 8 hours later, you've been in bed for 9 hours, but you've only been asleep for like 8 hours. And say if you had like an hour before and an hour after, now you've been asleep for 7 hours, but you've been in for 9 hours. So it's giving your body an opportunity to make the most of the time that you're actually in bed, to get the most sleep that you can possibly get. So make sure all of your devices are far away from you, keep blue light away, make sure that your sleep is really at like the top of your priorities, because if you don't get enough sleep, your body can't repair itself. That's when your body does all of its reparative actions. You know, it cleans your brain, and it does all the things. So just give it time to actually sleep and heal. Next is hydration, of course. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. Stay away from any highly processed beverages, just water, tea, coffee. You're good to go. If you want to add some electrolytes, whatever, then go for it. But hydration is key because your body is mostly water. So if you don't give your body enough hydration throughout the day, it's going to have a lot harder time processing all the food and everything that you're consuming and moving things around your body. So hydration is key. Also, supplements. So consider what supplements you might want to take. I, for instance, take a green powder and like a red powder. So it's just a beet powder and then it's like green vibrancy. That powder, it has like lactobacillus and a bunch of other stuff in it. And so I take that especially because in the beginning of my healing journey, I couldn't eat that much because I couldn't really move around a lot. Like also I was on heavy medication that constipated me. So I didn't have room in my digestive system to eat. So it became really imperative that I focused on my multivitamins, my biotin, quercetin, and zinc for healing and boosting your immune system, especially when you're in the process of healing. And then of course, I took supplements for pain. The natural supplements that I took, now remember I'm not a doctor or anything, so run this by your doctor. Supplements that I took for pain were cat's claw, boswellia, magnesium, super important for nerve function, muscle and bone, all the things. So be sure you're taking enough magnesium. And then white willow bark, which is really good for back pain. So I was taking those supplements 3 to 4 times a day, the serving size that's on the back of the bottle. That was how I helped quell my pain. And then of course there was a time where I was taking like CBD capsules, and there's also gummies, but I was taking capsules to help me relax, release pain, and go to bed because there were times where I was nagging. So, and then also another thing to consider is positive thoughts. So you want to make sure that you remain as positive as possible despite the situation. You want to remove yourself from the situation, say my body's in the situation and this is where I want to take it, and move through it with grace. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be compromised by all the pain and perceived ailments that you're having in your body, and it's going to create doubt. It's going to bring your energy down. It's going to make you more depressed. So if you can just keep doing your best to remain optimistic about your results and your recovery, that's going to really, really help you. Another thing that's really important is your resilience factor. So what is your resilience factor? So one thing that I would recommend is look at times before this particular ailment or injury has happened to you, and any times where you've had struggles in your life and how you were able to move through that and succeed at the end of it. If you can look at that, it will allow you to feel more capable of getting through this as well. Like for instance, I was cycle touring abroad for several years and I had a lot of resilience from that because some days I chose to cycle for like 12 hours in the heat in like Malaysia, of all places. So that created a higher resiliency factor for me. So at this point, whatever this was, getting ran over, I knew I could handle it. I knew I could recover, you know? And so that's what I'm offering to you is like, were there any financial problems that you came through on the other side, or any family problems you came through on the other side? Write down your successes in life. So all of those things, think about that, and that'll help you feel like you can be more resilient even through this time. Another one is have a good support group. And ideally they're positive, family, friends, and maybe a therapist. I say positive because if there are any family members or friends that you have that tend to operate in talking a little bit more negatively about things, or they're more realistic about things, I would say refrain from engaging with them because they will talk you into believing that you have a bad situation. So don't allow the space for that. It's their limiting belief. It doesn't have to be a reality. When I was in the hospital, I was asking people, nurses and doctors that were helping me about my situation and if they'd ever seen anybody with similar situation and how their recovery path was. And they were very honest with me and they just said, we actually don't know what happens once you're out of the hospital. That's all up to you. So in some way that was kind of good because then I didn't have any expectations. I wasn't given any like diagnosis of how long it should take me absolutely. I was kind of given some estimates, but I was pretty hopeful that I would, you know, surpass those. Another really, really key factor, along with the positive family and friends and having positive thoughts, is finding space for gratitude in every day. Being grateful that you're still alive, that you still have your body in whatever shape it's in. You're still in it. You get to still live another day. And what can you do about that? Like, how can you make it better? You know, maybe like if you're in a lot of pain or something, watch fun things that might make you laugh and kind of numb your mind a little bit from the pain. That way you're not relying so much on the medication or something, but like something else to distract your mind from the pain, because that for me was very helpful. Also little games, you know, there for a while I had games downloaded on my iPad, and it was just for me to focus. I didn't have enough mental capacity to read a book per se, and I didn't have enough mental capacity at the time to do crafts or anything like that, because everything was still really, really hard for my body. So what I could do was play little word games and crossword puzzles and stuff like that on my iPad. So that's also a recommendation. Very, 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 very important. Create a routine. If you don't create a routine, it's going to be really challenging to make sure that you get all your steps in, to make sure that you heal yourself, okay? That will help you be consistent. If you have a time that you wake up in the morning and a time that you go to night, 1, that'll guarantee that you get better sleep. 2, it'll allow you to kind of schedule the things in your life that you need that would help you heal properly. Making sure that you eat at a similar time every day. I, for instance, did intermittent fasting. So at the time that I was healing, I was only fasting for, I think, up to 12 hours or something. So that's like 2 hours before bed, 8 hours, and then 2 hours. Fasting is really, really important for recovery because your body actually uses energy to digest all of your food and everything, and it makes that a priority and stops the healing process elsewhere in your body. So that's something to really consider, and that's something that I've done several times in my life whenever I'm healing from anything. When you have a routine to do like food prep and maintain the quality of your food, because now you've allotted enough time in your day to actually do those things. And then of course you want to have movement, some kind of physical therapy, maybe yoga, whatever you can do from where you're at. And if you need to use props, then feel free to do so. Like for instance, when I first started and I was doing yoga, I was standing at like a hip high table. And I would use that for standing postures. Warrior 1, for instance, to hold myself upright, because at the time I didn't have enough core strength or strength much at all, even in my legs or anything. But just getting into the motion of starting to do those movement patterns was really helpful. And it allowed me to also see progress more easily over time. 1, because you're stimulating the muscle tissue and you're stimulating the muscle fibers and the growth. And so you're getting blood to the area, but you're also making yourself stronger. You're increasing your strength. And then of course, when you have like a set movement practice every day, you can see your progress every day, and it helps you feel like you're actually getting somewhere on your healing journey. Let's see, what else? This one, I've found personally in any time in my life, if I've ever been sick, out of sorts in any way, injured, whatever, keep yourself clean. Keep yourself clean, dress yourself every day, brush those teeth, wash that face. Wash your hair as best you can. If you need a family member or if you have an in-home nurse or somebody who can help you do that, then do that, because it's really, really important. As soon as I could kind of just start washing my hair on my own in the shower, like I couldn't actually take a physical shower. So I had to like lean over and like wash my hair with the detachable hose attachment shower head thing. So that was really important because it helped me feel like a normal functional human again. That's also what the routine does, is it allows you to feel like a normal functional human, like you're still doing something. If you just feel like this incapacitated blob just like sitting there not doing anything, then it's really hard to kind of imagine a future where you are a functional person, right? So you want to create those steps now while you can to be the functional version of yourself at the end, because you are going to heal, but what you do determines how long it's going to take for you to get there, right? With the cleaning thing, you can use dry shampoo and stuff as well, like baby wipes, whatever you need to do Do it creatively, but allow yourself to show up for yourself. That way you just feel refreshed and renewed every day, because that's really important. Another one is massage therapy from a specialist, not just any massage therapist. You want somebody who specializes in pain and recovery, because they need to know what they're doing with your body. And you also need to make sure that you're at a certain point in time on your healing journey that they can do work on you. It could take up to 3 months or something before you can be seen by one of those. Make sure that they're definitely professional and highly skilled. If you can do all of these things together, you're gonna have a really great healing routine, okay? So this last thing is try to move your body as much as possible, even if it's like the most basic stuff, because it's really important that you do. So I could just move my body and I could just like baby step walk in place. If that's what you can do, if you want to even just like baby step walk in place and like pump your little arms like very tiny, whatever you can do from where you're at, even if it's not the full representation of the movement you're trying to do, that is so beneficial for you. Getting up, moving as much as you can throughout the day, as much as you have energy for. This movement is magic. It's key. It keeps your lymphatic system moving. It keeps your blood flowing. There's the analogy of a dressing bottle. You know, the ones that you have to shake up to get all the spices and oil and everything blended. Think of that as your body. So the more stagnant your body is, all that stuff is just kind of like settling to the bottom. So you need to shake up your body to get all of those nutrients and blood flow and everything dispersed in various places in your body. To recap, let's see if I can recap. 1, set your intention. Make sure you know what you want to look like when you're healed. 2, what's your foundation? Where is your health currently and where was it before the injury? And then set up your food, sleep, hydration, supplements, and positive thoughts. Celebrate your past successes to create more mental resilience and more positive intention as you move forward on your healing journey. Have a good support group that's positive. Make sure that you have gratitude as often as you can in the day, even if it's just your favorite teacup. Supplements for pain, alternatives, once again, run it by your doctor, physician, or whatever, just to be sure. Create a routine. Keep yourself clean as best you can, and massage therapy from a specialist. And the last thing is move your body as much as possible. So those are the key factors that I've created that hopefully are very actionable and approachable from wherever you're at in your healing journey. And I hope that this was very helpful. If you feel like anybody would really benefit from this, then go ahead and share it. If you have any suggestions of any things that you'd like me to touch base on, then leave it in the comments below. So all that being said, have a beautiful day, let your light sparkle, and until next time, namaste.